Good afternoon, Greyhound Nation. This is a great day. My name is Matt Billings. I am the Director of Athletics at Eastern New Mexico University. I'm glad for everyone that's tuning in, everyone that could show up. This is a great day for us. It's just another layer on a very strong tradition here with Eastern New Mexico football. Today is about Ty Hyatt, our new head football coach. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ty here in a second, but just wanted to speak a little bit about, in my perspective, Ty and why Ty was the right guy here. I knew very early on that he was our guy. High character, high motor. The comments that I heard from everyone is he's going to outwork everyone. Great husband, great father. Paige, his wife, and his 3 little boys, they're going to come in and they're going to be a great addition to Eastern New Mexico and the community of Portales. So thrilled to have him here, and can't wait for him to get going and see the results on the field. So he's going to be a positive role model for our young people, and like I said, I'm just thrilled for him to be here. So welcome, Ty.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction. I can't tell everyone how excited I am to be here. This is something that I've worked really hard for to, take the step career-wise, and just really grateful for everyone and their support. Like Matt said, COVID's been really hard, and so just thankful that we're going to be playing this fall. First, I'd like to thank my wife, Paige. She is pretty amazing, and so thankful for her support. She, as anyone knows, our family, she is obviously the best coach in our family, loves volleyball, and we are very excited to come to Portales, and our little boys, 6, 4, and 1, we're excited to have them around. I think everyone might get tired of them after a while because they'll be running up and down the hallways, around the field, those type of things, but I'm really excited for that. Would really like to thank President Caldwell. I knew from my time on campus that she was, just very special. Want to congratulate her. She just got her 40-year pin here at the university, and just tremendous, the things that she's done here. And I know that she wants us to be successful, and that was one of the things that I had to have answered with coming to Eastern, was the commitment level that we were going to play at, especially in this great conference, and she wants us to be successful. Very thankful for, obviously, Athletic Director Matt Billings, and with Liz and Nicole and Matt, just throughout this whole process. Had a lot of questions and those type of things, and they were very great with me and forward with me, and I really appreciate that, especially in this business of college athletics. It's funny in college athletics, everyone gets their opportunity from someone, and really thankful to the head coaches that gave me an opportunity to play football, Gary Buer and Mike Smith. Forever thankful that they took a chance on me to be able to do this at the collegiate level, because some of the friends that I made and experiences I had really, I believe, helped form me to who I am today. Very thankful and grateful to the first head coach who hired me, Delane Fitzgerald. I worked with Delane for almost 8 years, and I learned and grew so much, and just thankful for him to give me an opportunity. And then very thankful for the last head coach that I worked for, Ernie McCook at Shepherd University. Shepherd is a top 10, top 15 program in the country, and I grew so much as a coach and as a leader at Shepherd, and just very thankful that he took an opportunity on me to be able to hire me into such a program that has played at such a high level the past 10, 15 years. And certainly with the thank yous, there's not enough to go around, but and our players will get to know this about me, but just very thankful for all the players that I've coached. As a coach, you get really close to those kids, and just thankful for all of them at all the spots that I've been, and so happy for them and their success. A couple of things that really stood out to me on my interview about Eastern football is that this alumni, this university is very passionate about the program. I felt that since day one, and that is something that I was looking for. This conference is one of the best conferences in the nation. I don't think that there's any arguing that. You have some of the best teams in the country year in, year out that play in this conference. But I can tell you one of the things that a lot of people know about Eastern New Mexico is that they have some of the toughest, grittiest players, year in, year out in the conference. And I can promise that we will make sure to keep and uphold that tradition. Some of the things that I can tell you that we will focus on every single day in our program, is that we're going to have a sense of urgency with everything that we do. Whether that's football, weight room, academically, community-wise. I've just always believed that if you have a great sense of urgency and a purpose to what you're doing in life, that you will be successful. And there's different paths that lead different people to different opportunities, but I know that we will do that. I can tell you that we will be obsessed with improving daily. Many times, especially in today's world, I told this to our team last week, but everyone has a cell phone and they can all get all the information that they want right now. But when it comes to team sports, it takes a day in, day out mentality to be successful, especially in football, because there's 125 young men on the team and there's 11 on both sides of the ball and there's only one football. Right? So we have to have a team that is just focused on improving every single day, and we are just going to have a tremendous work ethic. I can promise that our coaching staff and our players every single day are going to roll up their sleeves and come to work with that mindset of improving and being able to work to have a selfless team. Because that's one of the things that drew me to Eastern New Mexico, is that the young men in this program, they play for each other, they love each other. Last week when I met with the team individually, that was just one of the reoccurring things that came out to me. And I felt that when I was here on the interview, but I was so happy to hear that from our players, just because I think in order to win a championship, you have to be doing it for the right reasons, and I think that's why you play a team sport, so that you can grow together. And I can promise that our coaches that when we build that mentality, which has already been here, I thought Coach Lee did a great job of having that within the team and being able to uphold that tradition. And really at the end of the day, putting a program together that people are proud to be associated with. Not only with myself right here and our coaches and our players, but 10, 15, 20 years down the road that people really want to come back to Eastern and experience a game in Greyhound Stadium because of the people that they interacted with, the experiences that they had, and I know that we're going to work on that every single day as a program. So with that being said, if there's any questions, be able to open those up.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. How did you hear about this opening and what made you want to apply?
Yeah, well, I think just like any other college opportunity or just like any business, you have friends that you and relationships that you develop throughout the years. And when this opportunity came open, I can definitely tell everyone that I didn't know where Portales, New Mexico was. All right? And but when I truly think that God works in mysterious ways, and when opportunities that come, there's a reason for it, and doesn't mean that you have to take that door. But once the door was open and all my research, this is definitely a place where I knew that we could be successful.
Okay. You played football yourself, and now you're a coach. So what were some things that as a player you enjoyed that your coaches did that you want to implement into your own team?
Yeah. Well, probably one of the things I can tell you is anyone that's played sports or if you're a parent, probably some of the things you're told when you're a player you don't enjoy at the time, but you see maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the road that you needed. I can tell you that the things that I actually appreciated were coaches that cared about me as an individual, cared about me and my success. And the coaches, what's funny is I still talk to a lot of coaches that coached me from when I was in high school and college. And so just having that relationship. And then coaches that would hold me accountable. I think every young student athlete, especially who we're dealing with young men, they're going to make mistakes. This is part of the growing process where they're going to learn, but I think a coach is so instrumental in their life to help them set the foundation because, when they leave Eastern, I really want them to be a great husband, a great father if they want children. I want them to be a great employee, employer, and I think that you do that from the things that you learn in college sports.
Okay. COVID definitely affected student athletes, coaches, everyone, I would say. And so what are some adjustments that you had to make last year during COVID and during quarantine?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it was really weird trying to recruit when you couldn't have kids on campus. That's a big one. It was hard with limited practices, and I think the hard thing too for all the student athletes was not playing games. Because I think that's a big piece to it, is that you want to be able to have the focus of daily improvement and practice and those type of things. But as a competitor, which I'm a competitor, you want to play games. You want to be able to prove that everything that you've done throughout the week or those last couple of months, you can prove on the field. And I know we're really looking forward to September 2nd.
How did Shepherd University prepare you for Eastern?
I think Shepherd, like I said, it's been one of the top 10, 15 programs over the last 10, 15 years. Played in a national championship game in 15, 3 Super 1 region titles. Obviously in the playoffs every year. So I just think being able to be at that level and be able to compete at such a high level, I think it's hard to talk about postseason play with never being there. It's just different. And but going through that, and even my time at Frostburg State when we went to the Elite Eight, like all of those type of things, I think really helped prepare me to be able to be here, to be able to help lead our young men. Because, like Matt and I have talked about this, and the goal is to get to the NCAA. We won a bowl game in 2019. This is a great conference. There's no doubt about it. But we're here to compete, and we want to be the best. And taking that day-to-day, everyday mentality. I don't see why there's any reason why we can't achieve that goal and being able to get to the tournament, because once you are there as a team, it is some of the greatest experiences I've ever had as a coach.
Okay. What characteristic or quality does a player have to play for you?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. One, that you have to have a great attitude. I've just always been a believer that if you have a great attitude with anything that you do in life, you're going to be successful. A great attitude, and then I really think that people have to love football. Football is a very tough sport. It's a very demanding sport, and our coaches will be very demanding of the young men. But if they love what they do, I think that this is going to be a great program for them.
You mentioned that you didn't know where Portales was when you first started in Eastern. A lot of students can say that before they come here.
Yeah.
But now that you've been here, you did your research, you've got young kids. What is your impression of Portales as a community?
Yeah, I think it's a great community. I truly do. I grew up in a town in a funny story, I grew up in a town of 1,600 people. It was 1,200, but my dad had to correct me when I told him that the other day, so it's grown by 400 people. That's a pretty big deal. And but I grew up in Eastern Oregon, and I grew up on a ranch. And so coming into town, and I think I've told this to people, but Paige and I, we flew into Lubbock, and we came in, and as soon as we come in, I saw a couple factories, but then I saw a Sonic, and I thought it was big time. There's a Sonic, there's a Taco Bell, like all these things. But no, I think our family's really excited. I think this community it's a very close-knit community, and what I can tell is, I went to Juanito's on Saturday to grab something to eat, and some of the most friendly people you could ever meet, and just very warm and welcoming and offering to help with anything, that they could. So we're pretty excited about that.
I have one more, actually. So you came on Sports Look with Doc Elder. I actually produced that show, so I kind of got to know a little bit more about you just from that.
You work with Doc?
I do.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I do.
Amen to that.
Oh, there he is, okay.
And this might be a broad question, but, in comparison, I'm sure you know how Coach Lee kind of ran the program and did things how he did it, but what are you planning to do for the program, if there's any major changes or differences, stuff like that?
No, one of the things that I was really grateful to Matt to be able to start as early as we could, to be able to get out here and meet with the coaches and the players. One of the things that just kind of going over the last couple of weeks is just kind of observing and seeing how things have been done in the past. Coach Lee, I really think he did a great job. I mean, won a postseason game for the first time in school history. So there were obviously things that were going really well in the program, and I think coming in and trying to mess all that up would have been a mistake. But no, just doing a lot of observing, seeing the young men that we have on the team, seeing things that we're going to need to add in the fall, and just building off of that foundation. Because like I said, I think before here, and I might feel this way with every team at Eastern, but they were really close. So there was something really positive about that within the team culture, that when your kids are playing for each other.
That's a lot of questions.
I apologize for coming in late, and this question may have already been asked, but the schedule for this coming year is pretty well set in stone, but looking at the future when you have control over designing the schedule, what school would you like to add?
You know, that's a great question. I'm not sure. I know we play Central Washington September 2nd. I know that. At home.
Looking forward to that, are you?
Looking forward to that one.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Welcome to Eastern Coach.
Thanks, Doc.